Are these symptoms normal? A mom wrote in to me to say the following. My son has always had strong symptoms of inattentive ADHD and very mild autism. But we didn't notice this until recently when he was formally diagnosed with ADHD and level 1 ASD. Our doctor didn't mention medication until earlier this year, so some aspects of this life are still very new to us. It seems things are changing with the onset of puberty. He's been energetic and emotionally easygoing his whole life, but he never used to be this cranky and overwhelmed. Now it's almost constant. He also feels sad more easily and more often. Are these symptoms normal? Does this sound familiar? Mama, as an EF coach who has worked with hundreds of families over 20 years, my answer is yes, this is completely normal. And yes, this sounds very, very familiar. The onset of puberty changes everything. So as I work with clients who are newer to a diagnosis of ADHD or ASD, I always work with the individual family to figure out the individual flavor of what's going on in that household and inside that child. But in general, some things that are notable and important for you to learn is that your son may have coasted on his natural abilities before. That often happens, and I see it frequently in elementary school where kids are meeting the expectation of just one teacher and with a certain set of deadlines and timelines and expectations. And as they go into middle school, then things start to change. They change hormonally, they change academically, they change socially. So in the academic realm, whereas he used to just have one teacher with one set of expectations, now he has multiple teachers with multiple sets of expectations. And academically, it's developmentally appropriate for teachers, instead of holding their hands, the students' hands, to then give them the goal and let the student meet that goal. So why am I mentioning that? Because as you're talking about some of the emotional dysregulation and you're seeing your usually happy-go-lucky kiddo feeling more, in your own words, overwhelmed, stressed, agitated, what I suspect is that his brain is tired. And that's not an excuse. It's a reason for understanding. So the first thing I would talk about with him in a calm moment is validating, hey, you're not lazy or broken. We recently had this diagnosis, but that doesn't mean it's a jail sentence or anything is wrong with you. What it may mean is that you're under a lot of pressure and your brain is trying very hard to keep firing at all the pistons. And so what the second step would be for a parent is to help support the system. Recognize if your child needs more downtime. Start exploring scaffolding of systems within your household in which you have a designated time for homework, you have a designated time for breaks, you have a designated time to just chill out on the couch and relax. There's many ways to craft that. There's no one way. But what I will say is building in scaffolding with regularity, particularly for those with ASD, with autism, or those on the spectrum, that type of consistency and regularity can go a long way. Students will know what to expect. So recognize that puberty is a turning point. There's nothing wrong with his body. There's nothing wrong with his brain. With the right tools, puberty is a growth point. It's an opportunity for him to build these executive functioning skills, become really cognizant of what's happening on an emotional and cognitive level, and then be able to implement that so that the outbursts aren't as frequent. Remember that executive functioning is about the ability to pause and plan. So stay connected, stay grounded. You've got this.